At the direction of U.S. Assistant Attorney General Theron L. Claude J. Edgar Hoover initiated an investigation. A coroner's jury ruled the case a justifiable homicide, ending the matter so far as local authorities were concerned. The DOJ also closed its files without prosecuting fans or weeks. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Hebrew Jamaican Kool-Aid back again with another video. Um, I was just reading some lynching stories, and these stories are very, very troubling. And the more I read them, is the more upset I get as a dark skin colored person. Um, the reason why I think a lot of these people are now so afraid that we are waking up and that we are not kowtowing to them anymore is because they realize that we are now crying out to the Most High and they cannot stop it. And because of that, they know that their time, their judgment is definitely coming. Forget about all these people that talk about, you know, everybody should just love each other and be friends and stuff like that, when completely ignoring that the story that I'm about to read, and the fact of the matter is that many stories like this actually existed and actually happened just a couple of years ago. Let's talk about, let's just say, not even just a couple of years ago, but we can no longer pretend as if these stories are even, say, even 50 years old, 70 years old. As I've said this many, many times, when our mother-in-law was staying with us, she was born in the 40s and she had stories. You understand? She had stories that she would tell my wife about her experiences when going through certain neighborhoods just to work as a helpmate. You understand, to these people, and how they behave to her just by her basically showing up in a neighborhood. You understand? The fact of the matter is that these people that are basically looking towards Donald Trump, they're looking towards him for the specific reason that they believe that he is going to restore them, restore back onto them the the impunity that they've had for years to do the evil things that they have done to black Americans, and have the system in full support of it. And that's what a lot of them are basically angry about right now. They are angry that they're losing their white privilege. They're losing their absolute impunity to do whatever it is that they want to black people and get away with it without anybody shaming them, without any repercussions by the justice system. And when I read this story that I'm about to read to you and tell you that there are many, like hundreds of stories like this written in books, books that we should be reading, and books that I believe we should be reading online. We should be reading these books online. We should be reading these books online in TikTok, on YouTube, Facebook, wherever. We should be now publishing this information verbally to our people, to remind our people of who these people are. And again, I am going to use scripture verses to show you that these people are people who are already mentioned in the Bible as being as evil as they are. Um, as I was saying before, is that a lot of these people are angry because the system is basically now turning against them. It's no longer 100% supporting their evil deeds because no longer can they just do something evil and get away with it. That is why, like in these sundown towns, what they do, they cover it up. Because once you don't have any leads, once you don't have any evidence, there's nobody to prosecute. There's nobody to bring to justice. You understand? And that's why a lot of them are banking on Donald Trump coming back in, or even another person that has the personality even far worse than Donald Trump, is to bring back the full-fledged force of white supremacy using the political system, the justice system. Now, I don't want to, rant on for too long because I really want to get into the story to get you people to understand just how wicked and evil not only these people were, but the system itself that they were involved in and the system itself that they created and told us to participate in that system when we know that that system would never ever do right by us. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's read this story. I'm going to read a story. I'm going to tell you the book first. The book is known as By Hands Now Known, Jim Crow's Legal Executioners. And this book was written by Margaret A. Burnham. I do not own this book, and um I am basically you know what, let me put up the fair use right now. I'll put up the fair use, and then I'm going to now start, reading the story. Um, I don't own this book, but it was recommended. There's this white guy named Professor Moore on TikTok that I follow his, stories about lynchings, and he recommended this book. And of course, as soon as I get paid, I am going to be buying these books. Hebrew people, we have to read these atrocities because it is now our responsibility to read these atrocities and bring these atrocities before the court of the Most High and plead the cases of these people who didn't get the chance for their cases to be pled. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get into a preview of the book. There's a story in particular and many, many stories that I'm going to be reading right now. All right, so we're going to be reading the story of Timothy Hood. He returned from service in World War II to Bessemer, Alabama, where in 1946 he was taken out on a segregated bus. All right, watch this now. We're going to read it. In 1946, Bessemer's police chief was the brutal Lawton Studs Grimes. The chief once appeared in a local paper's photo of a KKK rally, his police uniform peeking out from beneath his white robe. Nor was Grimes the only Klansman doubling as a Bessemer police officer. An FBI agent noted during the civil rights era that the town's police department was full of former or present Klan members. Indeed, the Bessemer Klan was so much a fabric of the community that in 1959 the local Clavern posted a welcome to Bessemer sign at the town city limits right next to the Kiwanis Club sign. After partnering with the Klan were union busting gangs hired by the region's industrial tycoons. Beatings, bombings, and other forms of intimidation were commonplace in Bessemer. Okay. One Friday night in February 1946, Hood took off for Birmingham, perhaps for fun, as with busing in mobile seating in Birmingham was a fluctuating arrangement, left in the hands of the driver and the riders, blacks filled from the back and whites from the front. until they met at the color board, placed at the discretion of the conductor, who would move the sign as the size of the two racial groups ebbed and flowed along the route. Passengers could stand in the aisles if the conductor allowed it, but only near the seated riders of their own race. That Friday night, Hood caught a crowded bus on the South Bessemer line traveling north to Birmingham, and he chose a seat right behind the color board. All right, so you see the picture right there. All right, colored passengers go behind that. You understand? This is where this is. You see, when we talk about segregation and stuff like that, this is what was really going on. I am really and truly thankful that I was blessed to be born in the era that I was born in, because I think because of my timid nature when I was young, I think I would have probably been taken out already. I think I would have probably been, because of my friendly nature as well as I have right now, I think I would have been taken out already. You understand? I've explained this before that I have a naive personality with a lot of things, and I'm trying to break out of it spiritually. And I think that I would not have been able to survive in an era like that. And then now coming to the age that I am right now, with all the knowledge that I have right now, not only the knowledge, but I now have a little bit more impulsive nature than I had when I was 20. It's being held back, but trust me, I have a very impulsive nature right now to do certain things. But anyway, moving on. A color board separated the races on the this is just a synopsis. A few stops after Hood boarded in Bessemer, the rear of the bus quickly filled to standing room only. Eyeing an open seat in front of the board, Hood asked a fellow black passenger to move the sign forward to free up the seat for a black passenger. When the man declined to touch the board, Hood moved it himself, and having seen something of the world, casually reported to all in earshot that where I just came from, us colored had all the seat room we wanted. We sat anywhere we wanted to. The bus driver, William Ryan Weeks, must have overheard. He stopped his crowded vehicle, which had traveled just 3 blocks from Hood's stop, walked back to the colored section, and ordered Hood to put the board back. Hood shot back defiantly, "Do it yourself," tossing him 7 cents, the fare he'd paid. Weeks barked at Hood to get off the bus. The young veteran complied, walking toward the front of the bus to disembark through the white section, testing the driver even further. "Boy, why don't you go out the rear door as you're supposed to?" Week hollered. Just so a lot of people, let me inform you and give you a little bit of knowledge of this. You see, black men were not referred to as men. They were referred to as boy. They were not referred to as sir or mister. They were always referred to as boy, 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 boy. And you still see a lot of people do it still, calling grown men boy. Um, anyway, basically, you weren't allowed to exit or enter through the front of the bus, because that's where their entrance was and your entrance was at the back of the bus. You understand what I'm saying? So your entrance being at the back of the bus, when he told him to get off, he it was probably supposed to be common knowledge for him to exit at the back. So, Hood basically being upset, basically say, all right, let me piss this driver off some more and get off the front. You understand? And the man being a veteran too, he's like saying that, yo, listen, I just fought for this country. You understand? I fought for this country, and literally I came back here and I'm still being treated like I'm a subhuman. Like I'm subhuman. 3/5 human being. Not a complete human being. And you're talking to me as if I'm not even a human being. "Boy, why don't you go out the rear door as you're supposed to?" Weeks hollered. What happened next is contested. There were about 55 passengers on the bus, many of them young people out for a good time. All but 2 or 3 riders scattered after gunshots rang out. Those few who remained told investigators that Hood and Weeks first scuffled in the street near the front of the bus. Hood gave as a good as he got, but Weeks beat Hood with a steel switch handle and fired 5 bullets at the unarmed veteran, hitting him 3 times in the side. Hood stumbled away from the bus and took refuge in a private home a few doors down the street. All right. Greenberry Fant, the chief of police in the neighboring town of Brighton, happened to live in the area. Aroused by the commotion, he got out of bed and hunted Hood down. Hunted the man who got shot down, right? This is how they've lived. This is how they have lived. You them do you something wrong, and if you get wet and you're alive, then come after you same way because they have to finish the job. Because how dare you live after they have gravely wounded you? How dare you live after they have attempted to take your life, right? All right, so I'm back now. Aroused by the commotion, he got out of bed and hunted the Hood down. Bessemer police officers arrived at the scene and tossed Hood into the back of their car. Fant leaned in and confronted the moribund veteran about the fight with the bus driver, asking him if he had struck the white man. Hood, blood streaming from his torso. Right, remember, this guy was the guy that got shot in, right? Blood streaming from his torso and hands cuffed behind his back. Either could not or would not answer. I'm I mean he probably couldn't answer, but then if he could, he probably wouldn't have because he knew what his fate was gonna be anyway. If you won't talk, Fant told Hood, you won't talk now. You SOB. As Hood writhed on the floor of the police car, Fant shot him in the back of the head, killing him. Instantly, Fant then turned in the direction of the stunned crowd, brandished his gun, and shouted, "All of you damn leave here." Someone alerted Hood's family. Several blocks away, and Israel Hood came running. The father would later tell federal investigators that the soldier of whom he was so proud, his eldest child and only son, was handcuffed and dead when he saw him crippled up in the back of the police car. The threats to the black crowd, the shot, the prone body, it all reprised the choreography of a lynching. We're going to stop right there. We're going to stop right there. All right. And the thing about it is this. Let's read on. Let's go on to the next paragraph. On March 22nd, the African American community gathered at Bessemer's New Zion Baptist Church, 1,200 strong, to mourn Timothy and demand that Department of Justice prosecute his killer. They heard from the victim's close friend and classmate Lorenzo Wyatt, also a veteran, and from leaders at the Southern Conference for Human Welfare and the NAACP, the Alabama Veterans Association, launched earlier that month by Wyatt and others in part in response to Hood's killing, demanded a response from federal authorities. At the direction of U.S. Assistant Attorney General Theron L. Claude J. Edgar Hoover initiated an investigation. A coroner's jury ruled the case a justifiable homicide. Ending the matter so far as local authorities were concerned, the DOJ also closed its files without prosecuting Fant or Weeks. I want to read this to you one more time because I want you people to understand the wickedness to which they are used to. Remember, when you think about even Ahmaud Arbery's situation, what did they do? Hunt the man down, and he wasn't allowed to protect himself. And he tried to grab the gun to get the gun away from the guy because the guy was going to kill him with the gun. And you have people talking about how he was stupid for trying to protect himself. Oh, I wouldn't have grabbed the gun. I would have just done what they told. Either way, that wasn't the purpose. They were going to go there and kill him. It was a motive to lynch the guy. You understand? Um, these people are used to doing this. They're used to taking innocent lives and having nothing come out of it because they basically have a system that protected them from justice, from consequences, from repercussions. And now that they feel that this system is turning on them, that is what they're most angry about. They're not angry about anything else. They're angry about all the things that they've enjoyed doing and enjoying for so long. They can't enjoy it anymore. But you see, like I said before, a lot of us don't care. And the main thing that we are all concerned about is the Most High's justice upon a wicked people. I want to read this part again so you guys understand. Right? This is from the US at the direction of our US Assistant Attorney General Theron L. Claudio. J. Edgar Hoover initiated an investigation. A coroner's jury ruled the case a justifiable homicide. Remember how this man was taken out? He was shot in the back of the head. But it's a justifiable homicide. And people are mad at us for saying that the judgment of the Most High is coming down upon this wicked land. You literally have people mad at us and calling us evil. Calling us evil. When you have mother effers like this that still exist and still do what they do with absolute impunity, and you're mad at us just for saying, not even that we've done anything, but the fact that we've said that whatever happened to them is the judgment for their wicked friends, their wicked neighbors, their wicked ancestors, their wicked family members, and that is the Most High judging them. But we are the wicked ones, right? We are the wicked ones. When clearly in history, all the way up to the 1980s, and even now, one is still doing it. It shows that you people have done wickedness and found yourselves not guilty. Let's go to scripture because scripture tells you that they do that. Look at this. Zechariah 11:5, just verse 5 right there. It's right there. Read it with me. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. When they slayed Ahmaud Arbery, they held themselves not guilty. They were doing something justifiable. Them take out Tim Hood in the back of the head, in the back of the head. Justifiable homicide. I need you people to understand why you should not let this go. Because the prayers for these wrongs need to go up to the throne of the Most High and fill that vial. I've spoken about it before, about the dream I had, about the vials being filled, the prayer censers being filled, and being brought before the throne of the Most High. And I told you before that the Most High is casting judgment for those prayers. So we need to continue to pray for every single evil that they do. We need to bring that prayer up to the Most High and ask for judgment for that wickedness. A lot of you don't understand. We're just waking up and stuff like that and think, and we're happy. Yes, yes, that's all good. That's all good. Being awoken is great. It's wonderful to be awakened now to the truth that we are the chosen people of the Most High. But now that we are awakened, these are the things that we need to be concerning ourselves with. Praying to the Most High for justice for the evil that was done to us. Praying to the Most High to free us from this evil people. Praying for the Most High for His coming and to prepare us for His coming. I'm being honest when I say this, that the thing I'm looking forward to the most is the second Exodus. I'm not looking for, like, keep talking about how they're going. I don't care. I don't care about their slavery. I really don't care about it. I don't care about them going into slavery. I don't, honestly, really and truly, I don't want them around me. Don't want them around me. It's like for a very long time, we're gonna have a feeling of bitter taste in our mouth for them, and we're just gonna want to be alone for a very long time. For a very long time, our people are just gonna want to be alone amongst each other. We're not gonna want them in our presence at all. We're just gonna want to be alone. It's not like we're going to do nothing to them. We're not gonna harm them or stuff like that. It's just that there's this such a bitter taste, such a disgust for them and who they are, that we're not going to want to be around them for a very long time. For those of you who want to have slaves or whatever it is, that's up to you. Like, that's not my thing. That's not my thing. My thing is always gonna be justice. My thing is always about justice right now. Anyway, people, tell me what you think. I hope this video reaches many people, and share this video. Share this video with others, because we need to continue to awaken our brothers and sisters, and also to basically show these stories, to expose them. You understand? No more hiding it, no more sweeping it under the rug, no more pretending as if it didn't exist, no more denying it by them, no more them denying it now as if things like this didn't happen, and pretending that it was just like some sort of small thing. That's what they pretend like it was, like some sort of off chance thing, when you had entire towns that held this as like a fair, a county fair of doing this to black people. This wickedness needs to constantly be out into the open. The mirror needs to be turned on them. Because, like I said before, that's the truth of the matter of what they want. You understand? They want the return of their white supremacy to its full fledged power, the absolute impunity and immunity to do what they've always done to us. And I'm not even saying us as in, because I'm a Jamaican, but looking at it as in us as black people. Because there's no way that any of us else are going to escape just because we have a different country where we come from. They hate us all the same. We need to stop pretending as if, oh, their hatred is just for them. So, they can go one side, and no, 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 no. Their hatred is for everyone. And thus be the case. My children are from a black American woman. Anyway, people, like I said before, share the video. Enough love and respect. Peace. I am out.